Hey, good morning, Pastor Steve here. Job 9, 32 through 35 says, "For God is not a man as I am, that I should answer him, and we should come together in judgment. Neither is there any daysman between us that might lay his hand upon us both. Let him take his rod away from me, and let not his fear terrify me. Then would I speak and not fear him, but it is not so with me." Poor Job. In his sorrow, he pleads for someone to be a go-between. A daysman is an old English term meaning an umpire, an arbitrator. Job was at a loss as to how to get through to God. Now keep in mind, he's been offering sacrifices to God. He believed in him. But when he's at his lowest and life is just not fair, he cries out for a mediator. As I read this passage, that verse jumped out at me and I rejoiced. Yep, all alone in front of my computer. I cried out praise. Why? My blessed dear friends, the ones who know Jesus. 1 Timothy tells us there's one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. Hebrews 7, it shouts for joy. By so much more, Jesus has become a surety of a better covenant. And there are many high priests because they've prevented by death from continuing. But he, because he continues forever, has an unchangeable priesthood. Therefore, he is able to save to the uttermost those who come to God through him, since he lives to make intercession for them. That's me, baby. And Romans 8:34, who is it who condemns? Christ Jesus is the one who died. More than that, who was raised, who is at the right hand of God, who always is interceding for us. Does that fill you with joy? It should. I've told this story before, and you've probably read it. Abraham Lincoln was the president, and a young soldier in the Civil War got a letter that his four brothers, I believe it was, had been killed, and his father and his mother sent a letter. The crops are going to rot in the field, have no one to harvest them. So he heads into Washington to try to get a reprieve to go home. And he walks, back in those days, they didn't have all kind of Jersey barriers. And he walks up to the White House and knocks, and the guy says, "Go back to the battle, son." And he walks around the corner, and he's sitting on a bench. He's sitting on a bench with his head in his hands, just kind of sorrowful and wondering, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Suddenly this little voice says, "Hey, mister, what's the trouble?" And he tells this little kid his trouble. He says, "Oh." The little guy grabs him by the hand and walks around to the back end of the White House, through the gate, up into the Oval Office, and says, "Dad, this man needs to talk to you." Oh, baby. Talk about going to the Father through the Son. We have that privilege. The Son of God himself grabs us needy people by the hand and takes us to the Father himself. Job knows that now because he's with him. Do you? You ponder that, Pastor Steve.